of the group which are very close to the living group can assist in leaving it by making stabilizing the positive charge. And no doubt, uh, with enchimeric assistance and without enchimeric assistance, you have come across does make a difference in the mechanism as well. Not only in the reaction rate, but also in the mechanism. You see, if a reaction is possible by SN2, it can proceed via SN1 due to enchimeric assistance. So you have seen this yesterday, so which was about substitution reaction. Right, so now proceeding, this is all about the aliphatic substitution reaction in which you have come across SN1, SN2, SN1 prime, SNI, similarly SN1 prime, SN2 prime, SNI prime, SN2CA, SN1CA, and similarly this enchimeric assistant as well. And you have also come across a very important for secondary carbons. You have come across the ion pair mechanism, also called Sanin's concept, to explain why miscellaneous type of mechanism follows when it is a secondary carbon. If it is a primary carbon, aliphatic carbon, it shall always proceed via SN2 mechanism, no doubt. But if it is a tertiary carbon, it only proceeds via SN1 mechanism. But if it is secondary, then it may follow SN1 and SN2 as the dominating one, which depends upon the reaction condition which you have already come across. These reaction conditions may be the structure of the substrate, the polarity of the solvent, similarly the solvent effect, the similarly you have come across steric factor, etc. And similarly, if these groups not only undergo substitution but also undergo rearrangement, then it shall follow a different kind of mechanism. Different substrate SN1 prime, SN2 prime, SNI prime are possible in fact. SN2 always proceed with Walden inversion, SN1 always proceed with racemization, and SNI always proceed with retention in configuration. This is what you have stereochemically come across about variation in different mechanisms. So anyhow, this is all about the substitution at aliphatic carbon. But let's say if we have a carbon which is sp2 hybridized carbon, substitution also takes place. You have come across this on aromatic system. But if this substrate is electron deficient but not electron rich, mean just like a carbonyl type carbon, then how substitution takes place? If it is an aldehyde, carbonyl carbon is an aldehyde or a ketone, only addition is possible. This is you have already come across. But you have seen whenever it is not aldehyde, not ketone, any other carbonyl type, it may be a carboxylic acid, an ester, an acid halide, acid and similarly some other functional group with carbonyl, but other than aldehyde and ketone, it first undergo addition, then elimination. Overall, it gives you substitution product. This has been highlighted in next slide. This mechanism is called tetrahedral mechanism, and this is abbreviated as TD mechanism. Now, first of all, just look at the substrate. This is alkyl group. X is normally oxygen, sulfur, or nitrogen, but maybe phosphorus as well. And Y is a good living group. Now, in case of acid halide, it may be chloride, bromide, iodide. In case of anhydride, it may be this group. In the if it is an ester, it may be this. In carboxylic, it may be OH. Similarly, it may be nitrogen. So in acid amides, for example, unsubstituted, monosubstituted, and disubstituted amides, etc. So there is a variety of them. It may be carbazide, semi-carbazide, and so many other functional groups. Anyhow, it is not limited to only why is this one. What happened? a nucleophile because we are talking about nucleophilic substitution reaction. This is also nucleophilic substitution reaction, aliphatic nucleophilic substitution, but this is not simply taking place on sp3 hybridized carbon. This is the difference only. This is taking place on sp2 hybridized carbon rather sp3. So what happened if you remember X, either this is oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus. In all cases, this group is more electronegative. If it is Y, in all these cases, you can see they are heteroatom. This is also electron withdrawing. So X and Y both are withdrawing electronic density away from this carbon. So that's why this carbon is highly electron deficient. What happened? A nucleophile, let's say Z is a nucleophile. It donates electronic density to this carbon, and this electronic density on uh, pi bond moves towards X, which is more electronegative atom. So in step number one, what happens? This Y Z adds to this carbonyl center, maybe thio centers or maybe imines, etc. So what happened? A carbon which is sp2 hybridized due to this addition is converted into sp3 hybridized carbon. You see, this is a hybridized. This carbon is sp3 hybridized right now. Hybridization is changed due to making four bonds. Initially, it is making a bond with three atoms. One is the double bond, two are the single bonds. But now it is making four single bonds. R, X, Y already present there, and Z is the next one which has been added. Right. So what happens in the next step is the elimination of this Y if it is a good living. You can see this X having a negative charge on this. It donates this electron pair back between X and carbon, and this Y group leaves. If this, let's say, it donate electron pair back and this Z eliminate, then it shall become a reversible reaction. So it is in equilibrium in fact. So product shall be converting into reactant if Z leaves. But if Y leaves, then it shall convert into the further product. Now what is happening in the first step, you can see it is addition reaction. Nucleophile is adding to an unsaturated system, sp2 hybridized carbon. In next case, one group is leaving the molecule. So this is an elimination reaction. So overall, if we look at in mechanism, this molecule is a starting material and this is a final product. So reaction, what is happening if you focus on reactant first and final product? Y is replaced by Z. But this replacement is not done in a single step. This is not a concerted mechanism. This is in fact a two-step mechanism. So it is not a concerted mechanism. You see, this is happening in two steps. First step is addition. Second is a elimination step. So first step is, in fact, you can say resulting in the formation of a molecule which is tetrahedral. Why this is called tetrahedral mechanism? Because in this case, group Y is not directly replaced by Z in a single step. First of all, it undergo addition, making the carbon sp2 hybridized into sp3 hybridized. And then sp3 hybridized again converts into sp2 by losing a living group Y. All right. Chloride, bromide, iodide are good living groups. Similarly, these acetate type ions, these are also very good because they are resonance stabilized. Alkoxide ion, hydroxyl ion, and imidine, they are not much stable enough. That's why they are poorly removed if it is carboxylic acid or amides. But if it is ester, alkoxide ions are relatively better stabilized. If it is acid halide or anhydride, this is you have already come across in carbonyl additions. So most reactive are acid halides, then acid anhydride, then esters, in fact. And these are least reactive. Amides are least reactive because they cannot convert into NH2 negative, which are not stable entities, have a very high heat of hydration. So this is the mechanism which completes in two steps. This is called TD mechanism, which is abbreviation for tetrahedral mechanism. Why tetrahedral mechanism? Because it is formed by the addition of nucleophile to sp2 hybridized unsaturated system and makes a sp3 hybridized carbon as an intermediate which further undergo elimination to result in a substitution product. In fact, two steps are involved. First is addition, second is elimination. But overall, if we look at the starting material and the final product, they are showing the substitution. Y is replaced by Z, mean the nucleophile. So this is the overall mechanism, which is also important with respect to nucleophilic substitution. That's why I have included this in this class as well. Now, just a few examples, just focus on the structure number one. This is if there is no chlorine at this place. This is commonly called benzoquinone, if you remember. This benzoquinone is a very simple entity, in fact. Look at here. This is the structure number one. Is having a carbonyl carbon, and at both positions it has chlorine. Now, how we can bring this chlorine at this position? If we are reacting benzoquinone in the presence of triethylamine with chlorine, all these positions shall be replaced by Cl. So benzoquinone can be converted into tetrachlorobenzoquinone very easily. This is in fact 2, 3, 5, 6 tetrachlorobenzoquinone. If there is no chlorine at this place, this is simply benzoquinone. Now what happened? This OH, which is a nucleophile here, this nucleophile if adds to this carbon, this or that, it is equally good. It shall not undergo direct addition to this carbonyl carbon. Why it is not undergoing direct system? Because this carbonyl is in conjugation with the pi bond. This pi bond, it may attach to this carbon, attack this position. It may attack here, it may attack here, it may attack here. Four possibilities, all are symmetrical if it approach any system. So mechanism is very simple. It shall undergo conjugate addition, in fact. This oxygen is adding to this carbon, and this carbon is taking this electron pair here, and this carbonyl is taking this electron pair there. So resulting in what? Not sp3 hybridized carbon is not formed at this position, which is formed in this case here. Because here carbonyl carbon is not conjugated. It is isolated. So that's why this happens. But if you have a conjugate system, like in benzoquinone, that's why I taken this as an example. Otherwise, these are very simple. So it shall always undergo conjugate addition. So in this conjugate addition, you have come across sp3 hybridized carbon is not from this one. It is the 1,3 carbon. So anyhow, if this Cl is a good leaving group, this Cl leaves and this pi electron transfer to generate a double bond here, and similarly this oxygen donates this electron pair back. What shall happen? So we shall get a phenolic entity. This phenolic entity, if you remember, it doesn't exist. It may exist in another tartomeric form. Look at here. If I draw the other tartomeric form of this, we shall have a carbonyl at this position. This is a enol form. This is a keto form. All right. Now we have a Cl present here. Now this can be converting into keto form, can be converting into enol form. like this one. Now, what is the advantage of this? Now you can see these two double bonds are in conjugation and this carbonyl. Similarly, these two carbonyl two double bonds are in conjugation. So in this case, you see this OH and this carbonyl, these two, they are in tautomeric form. They passes 3 cannot convert into 5 directly without passing through 4. First, this shall be, although the concentration of this is very small, but this phenol converts into this keto form, all right, and then this keto form converts into this enol. This is converting into enol form. Now you can see one keto form, one enol form is converting into another enol form. So these are the two different enol forms which are convertible to each other passing through structure number 4. All right. So this is in fact just a substitution. You see we have this molecule, 3 chlorines are at same position, but we are having the substitution. This Cl is replaced by the nucleophile at this position, passing through addition followed by elimination. Steps are the same, but here conjugate addition is taking place, here direct addition is taking place. This is a major difference. So, all right, so this is all about the aliphatic substitution reactions. So I shall proceed further with the other type of the substitution reaction, aliphatic electrophilic substitution reactions. All right, so can you see, all of you can see this slide number 2? This slide number 2 is visible.
Yes, sir.
This slide number 2 substitution reaction, is this visible to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the same that you have already come across in the classification of substitution reactions. In the very beginning of the substitution reaction, you have seen aromatic, electrophilic substitution reactions. Similarly, you have come across aromatic, nucleophilic substitution reactions as well. So these two types we have covered in the very beginning. What we were discussing at the moment is this type of substitution, aliphatic nucleophilic substitution reactions. So this is the aliphatic sp3 hybridized carbon. One nucleophile is, one leaving group is replaced by a nucleophile. So what is the mechanism associated? You have seen a variety of different mechanisms, SN1, SN2, SNI, SN1 prime, SN2 prime, SNI prime. Similarly, SN2CA, SN1CA, enchimeric assistance. So these are the similarly Sanine's concept is included here. So these are the 10 different kind of mechanism you have seen about this type of substitution reactions. The last one that is in this is in fact if our substrate is sp3 hybrid, you see this carbon is sp3 hybridized. It is keto form. Keto form converts into enol form. This enol form you have already come across. If it produces in the presence of a base, this lose a proton, so it shall generate an enolate. That enolate can donate electron pair back here, and this carbon, which is this one in fact. So due to tautomeric form, this carbon becomes electron rich. You see, this is having a pi electronic density. Now, rather reacting with this sp3 hybridized carbon, reacting with a nucleophile. No, it is reacting with an electrophile. So this is the difference. So we must have a tautomeric form, not essentially should be keto-enol tautomerism. It may be nitro, acyl nitro, it may be enamine, imine, equilibrium between tautomeric forms, etc. So anyhow, this has, in fact, it has a very important aspect in this case, that keto-enol tautomerism is this type of keto-enol tautomerism. So this carbon is sp3 hybridized in keto form, but in enol form, this is electron rich. So this sp3 hybridized carbon is reacting with an electrophile, very opposite to this case. This is the last type of the substitution reaction we are discussing. We have already covered two types with aromatic substrates. Aromatic substrate can be electron rich, so shall react with electrophile. Similarly, aromatic substrate can be electron deficient, that's why react with a nucleophile. So these two types you have covered in the very beginning. Third, our substrate can be aliphatic system, electron deficient, so definitely reacting with a nucleophile. If the same aliphatic system is electron rich, now it is going to react with an electrophile rather a nucleophile. So now we are going to cover this one, the last type of the substitution mechanisms. But keeping in mind here, mechanism is very simple. You have already come across the role of enolization. Keto-enol tautomerism. Keto form converts into enol. Enol undergoes enolization because it reacts with the base. Base picks up this proton. It doesn't pick up this proton. This is what I have already provided you. In some of the book, even the book of Accolade and the suggested reading I have given for this class of the substitution. So there is also wrong mechanism is presented in which this hydrogen is shown reacting with the base, and it is donating electron density here, and this is donating electron density there. No, not at all. The base reacts with the enol form. It doesn't react with the keto form. Once enol form reacts, the concentration of enol decreases. That's why keto form keep converting into enol form. So the equilibrium shift in forward direction. So because according to Le Chatelier principle, the product is decreased. That's why the reactant decomposes, forming product. All right. So this is how the equilibrium shifts in as per the Chatelier principle. So one time reach when all keto form has been converted into enol and enol converted into enolate. That enolate reacts with this electrophile. Now these electrophiles are of various kinds. Let's see if I present this on next slide. This is just a review that in substitution nucleophilic mechanisms, you have come across SN1, SN2, SNI, similarly SN2 prime, SN1 prime, SNI prime. If our substrate is not undergoing substitution but also rearrangement, and these three mechanisms are followed. If the mechanism follows with the protonation of the living group, then it in fact is called SN2CA, SN1CA, depending upon the different type of substrates, alcohol, thiols, etc., or maybe ethers. And similarly, you have come across neighboring group participation, ion pair mechanism, SNEEN concept, in fact. TD mechanism doesn't include here, but I have included this here. So all these three different type of substrates you have come across, which undergo a variety of different, these are SN1, SN2, SNI contain different substrates, primary, secondary, or tertiary. But it is primary, secondary, or tertiary carbon is connected with the pi electronic density. then it shall undergo SN1, SN2, and SNI prime in fact. And similarly, if it is proceeding via protonation, it shall proceed any of these two. Neighboring group participation have a group already present which stabilizes the positive charge. All right. So we have left with only